There's only one thing to do when the weather is like that. Finish off this bad boy. Back to a brand new video. Simon here with a Scotty refurb. Part 1, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. You'll see the kind of condition this putter was in. And I've been spending the last 2-3 nights, I'll show you a time lapse of last night when Blake was in bed, Mary was out, and I was there sanding down my Scotty Cameron. And you guys really enjoyed the last video, so this part 2, I want to get it to a point now that there's not a single scratch on it, and we're going to try and get it as polished as I possibly can with the sandpaper that I've got, and then where we go from there. Because a lot of you guys did give me really good advice in the last video. I think some people might have taken it a tiny bit too seriously. As I say, I'm definitely not a professional golf club refurbisher, and we're learning as we go. We've been using just bog standard sandpaper. A lot of you made very good points about using like power tools going forward, like a Dremel, which will make it a lot quicker, and that's definitely the way forward. But I want to keep this as cheap as possible. I want, as I say, I've just bought sandpaper. How cheap can you refurb a Scotty Cameron? The second thing that everyone mentioned was that you're actually sanding down the Pro Platinum like nickel coating on the outside, which stops it rusting. And as you can see, there is some kind of rust showing on the face of the Scotty Cameron. I'll show you some better images in a bit, which again is another problem. But I keep hearing problems, guys. I want solutions. Am I taking this back to GCSE electrolysis, getting nickel plating over the top of this? Let's do it. I want some solutions of how, when I polish this up and it looks brand spanking new, how can we then coat it so it doesn't rust and we keep it in its perfect form? As I say, I'm learning. Hopefully you guys, well, you definitely guys aren't learning, but it'd be cool to know if there is a process. So if you come across a wedge, if you come across a putter and you go, it's battered, but actually if I spend a couple of hours on it, can I get it to very good condition? Well, then this video is going to be that. Right, let me show you a bit more in detail this bad boy. Okay, so here we are. Sorry for the audio. I use my iPhone because I do feel you can get some better shots of this out in the daylight. I get too much glare off my normal camera. Anyway, you can see some kind of rust forming on the front there, which obviously was to be expected, but I'm not particularly worried because, I mean, that's going to take 2 minutes and I can obviously sand that off again. The top line, pretty much done, and as you can see as well at the top here, that ridge is pretty much gone as well. I've kind of taken back now the whole putter. Obviously we need to do the paint infill as well, which is going to be important, so I need to strip that out. But I want to get this to as shiny as I possibly can today, get all the big nicks out. You can potentially see like a few of them, like especially on the bottom here, there's like a couple, like a few on the end there, again a few on the end here, and we're going to get this as shiny as I can. Wet and dry obviously is going to be the way forward to really polish it up. The end here, you can see that's pretty much what the whole putter used to look like. So I need to obviously sort that out again, but realistically I want this video and you guys, oh, there's a big one there, that needs to go as well. Okay, we've got a bit of work to do. Girls are back out, we've got to do the backside, and we've got to finish off the rest of it as well, but I need solutions. How am I going to stop this rusting? Is there a paint that we can use? That's because I kind of want to keep this clear. I don't really want to paint it black or bronze or anything. I want to keep it as it is, but what's the best sealant? I need solutions. Do I need to go somewhere? Do I need someone professional to do it? Or can I do this at home? Right, I think it's time for another time lapse. And okay, here we are. The back is pretty much finished. I think I've spent probably all in all now 10 hours, I think, on this putter, which probably could have taken me an hour if I actually had a machine to do it. But I've taken pretty much all the serious nicks and dents out of it. There is, over this side, I need a file to take off this corner because I literally just can't get in there without damaging or taking off more of the putter itself. I think that just comes off. Oh yeah, that's good. But overall, not too bad. It's looking good. Now if it stayed like this, which it won't because it'll rust, because obviously all protection is now pretty much gone, it actually looks pretty cool. Once the lettering and everything else is then filled in, this is going to be looking rather nice. But I'm going to take it down now. We're going to now use, I think, the 240 paper. I want to see what that does in terms of shine. Does it bring it up? And what kind of condition will it be in after all of that? The flat surface is obviously going to be easy. These bits not necessarily as much, but obviously I can then give you an update. See, these bits here need to be filed down more. Sandpaper is quite difficult to obviously get the edges done perfectly. But as I say, this is a test putter. Hopefully it'll look a lot better than it did when I started this challenge. Okay, 30 minutes with the sponge. That's like 120 and 80 grit on the side. And you can already see it's coming back to what it should have looked like back in there when it actually came out of the shop. Really impressed with how cleanly. Now, unfortunately, when you start polishing these things, you can start to see some of the imperfections. So I think I might have to go back over. But for this video, I think I'm going to use a lot of this, what's this, 240? So that's basically normally for plasterboard. And let's see what kind of condition we get it to go in. I mean, I might have to go over a few of these bits. Like I might have to file this down, for example, on the corner here. There I can still see some nicks, and that would just take ages if I wanted to buff those out. The face though, and then also let me show you the bottom, I'm really happy with. And let me see if I can get this in some decent light. The bottom and then also the face, really happy with. Doesn't help with the glare, but compared to what it looked like, I mean, I've not done too bad. That is a lot of grinding whilst watching TV. And sanding this thing down with a dust sheet underneath myself. But that's where we're at the moment. Sandpaper on a Scotty Cameron putter. Obviously we've got to find a way to somewhat resist the rust on the face and the back and everywhere else. Obviously I've done the sides as well, at the top here for example. Again, they could probably be more fine-tuned, and then the top here as well. This whole process could have probably taken me 2 hours if I had the correct machinery, but that's not the point of the video. We'll do that in later videos. Anyway, looking good. Let's use the 240. Let's see what we can get it looking like. And we are done for today. Bit of water, bit of 240 on that face. The only problem is when you polish something, you definitely start to see some kind of imperfection. So I'm gonna have to go over this whole putter, definitely in certain places, like on the end here. I mean, that's without a question, obviously that's gotta get done, but I need some more tools. I think the bottom is looking absolutely class. I mean, we've got the major imperfections out, like the big dents, like the ones that were out the back, for example, and I'm happy pretty much on the flat surfaces. We're done. I'm gonna have to go over the face again. You can see some kind of ridge formed there because there was so many dents in the front. So we're gonna have to rub that down, get that flatter on the face, and then obviously the back there is again a few more marks. But I mean, that there from a distance, let's say, looks awesome compared to where it was at the start. Now we need to find how we're going to be able to protect it from from obviously the elements, and go over the finer bits on this putter. But overall, I mean, it just looks stark contrast. It just looks so much better compared to where it was. I mean, there's no question that you could definitely look at this and go, oh, that looks like a half decent putter. But then when you get close like I do, I am a perfectionist, and there's just too many things, especially around the back, that just need to be done. But they're the fiddly bits. And after this one, obviously machinery will be used on newer projects. But guys, let me know on other projects that you think I should be doing, wedges, other putters, you name it. But for the first one, I'm quite happy anyway. So guys, there you have it. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. As I said, suggest some different projects. Obviously, I like the state of my hands, definitely need to wear gloves going forward. Name some other projects that you want to see. I'll keep an eye out myself, and then obviously I think I might invest in some kind of equipment to make this process a bit quicker and a bit more professional. But overall, it's quite, to be honest, it's quite nice. Like, the weather is like horrendous, and going into winter, I mean, it's going to be even more horrendous. So giving something that I can obviously do in my spare time, whilst I'm not editing or making other videos or teaching, you name it, it's quite therapeutic, I should say. Guys, see you later.